In the last video, we saw what the point test holds for you. Now let's see if you qualify. We probably sent you a free assessment as well. Let's see how does the process begin. So to say whether you're going for Australia or Canada, my sincere request would be that get on to mara.gov.au or just go on the internet if you're interested in the Canadian system, go search for an RCIC agent. I'll make a separate video why you need to do this, because that's in your best interest, because these people have actually gone to the university, studied the Canadian and the Australian law, and they know what the governments are doing or what the future holds and what they are doing with your application. They have the knowledge. You can trust them with your money. And above all, if you are stuck somewhere, you have your case officer ask you any question, it's only the MARA and the RCIC registered agents who can actually go and explain the situation. For example, my Pakistani clients go to university for 2 years and they get a bachelor's degree, wherein an Egyptian client would go to university for 5 years and they would also get a bachelor's degree. So whose is better? Now this is where the experience comes in, and it's a seesaw. So if your bachelor's degree is less and you have more experience, it comes to a balance, right? Your employer is shut down or is out of business. What do? You actually have secondary documents which you can represent. Now, if your employer has shut down, there are secondary documents according to the country you live in. And who knows these? It's only the migration agents know this, who are registered with the department, because the department has come up and told them that this is what we need if you're in this situation. Now, I want to stop here and warn everybody that if your migration agent is not registered with the Department of Immigration, what are they doing? They're actually filing your case under your name. So you are not being represented. So you're not paying them to fill up a form or to have this process. I've given you the process for free. So what are you paying them for? You're paying them that just in case, it's like insurance. Just in case, if something goes wrong, and it will definitely go wrong, because we are talking about different countries, different way of working, different way of, like for example, Middle East doesn't have taxes. Australia has taxes, and the case officer is used to seeing tax documents as a proof of being paid. So apart from the tax documents, there could be endless possibilities where the department comes up and asks for clarifications. So if your migration agent is not capable or not authorized to represent you or to go talk on your behalf, your money is gone waste. That's what you're actually paying them for anyways. Coming back to our topic, the main documents what an immigration case is based on is mainly your education documents. So that's your mark sheets, your transcripts, and then your experience certificates as an appointment letters, your salary certificates, your tax documents if you have in your country, and then there are some duty letters which you have to make. These are special letters which we will guide you how to make, right? So when I come back to that topic, because I get the urge to help you out in this, because you are not aware who to trust with the immigration agency. So you guys go, these shonky agents will have big bling bling offices, and you get lured by it by saying, oh, they are there, they know what they're doing. No, they actually don't know what they're doing. Neither does the department want to talk to them. I mean, it's bad to the situation that the Canadian and the Australian government have actually started regimes to catch these people. Rather, the governments of these countries are actually having regimes where they are running after these shonky agents and want them to be caught. Now, what goes wrong in this is, and I'm time and again coming back to this point, is because they would jeopardize your case, they would represent, or they would leave you alone, and guess what? It harms you in a way that whatever you represented stays there for 10 years. So if there is some missing information, or the case officer is suspecting because these cases were not represented in a proper manner, and they give you a rejection, there you go. You would sit with that negative comments in your file, in your profile, for next 10 years. So what does that result? Even if I want to help you, or somebody from MARA or ICRC wants to help you, it gets a little difficult for us to go wash that what they've done and to rewrite it again. So it's double the work for us, and it's double the work for you as well. Now coming back, so as I said, the process starts with converting your education to education equivalent to Canadian degree. That's the first step, which is called an ECA or a skill assessment in Australia. Takes about 3 to 4 months. The various different fees for different bodies. It depends upon what profession you're from. Then the second step comes in the expression of interest. Same in Canada and Australia. You put up an expression of interest with your family. You put up and say that I want to come and live in Australia. I've got this. By this time, you also need your IELTS exam. And then you go and apply for state sponsorship or provincial nominee program in Canada. Thereafter, once you're selected, if by the state or by a province in Canada, you go ahead and file your case. Now, filing a case means that you will go for some mandatory checks. They would check on the claims you made, like your employment, your age, your identity goes for a check, and also the two of the main checks, as in your character goes for a check. Like you have to give police clearances from any country you've lived in, and you have to go for medical. Mostly all the family members go for a medical checkup, and once that is granted, you get onto the final check where you will give you a pre-departure list of documents what you're supposed to take with you. And now you must be asking, oh, I've got the visa, what sort of list are you talking about? Nah man, the game starts from here. Your actual struggle starts from the visa grant. Now what sort of documents would you take? And this is where the experience comes in. You take your and your kids' medical records. You take their immunization certificates so that they have a history there. You have a medical history, or you're going through a treatment or whatever. You need letters from your doctors to take it there. You need recommendation letters from all your employers to be with you, so that you might not be coming back to this country ever. So these are small things. I mean, your driver's license, your abstract, your translations, because if your documents are in Arabic or Tagalog or Hindi, you will get translators in that country, but they'll be very expensive. So we guide you with all these vital information, because I have personally gone through that process. I've once converted my Saudi license to an Australian license. I've once converted my Indian driving license to a Canadian driving license. So I'm somebody who's gone through all this process. So why trust somebody who's not even seen the map of Canada ever, right? I'm going to actually make a video for this as well. The maps of Canada with provincial nominee program, and that will see how different is it when you talk to a Canadian or an Australian explaining you their country where they live in. Right? So this was for you, how to begin the immigration process. If you have any question in regards of the process, how you start, what you need to do, or if you even have started the process, you've been cheated by your migration agent and they've left you because you have a low CRS score or a low invitation and you're stuck in the pool, believe me, I have the ways to get you the PNPs done. We get invited by the states and the provincial nominee programs to come and listen to them, because you see, the need is both the sides. You need the visa, the states and the province needs you as a professional agent. So get in touch with us. We'll do a free assessment for you, guide you how we can help you and achieve your dream. If you've seen, we talked about the process, what needs to be followed, as in if you're looking at migrating, what does the skill migration involve? The other second question is, what occupations are in demand? And before I get on to the occupations in demand, I would like to explain you the structure, how the Australians and Canadian classify the occupations. Like for example, before 2022, the Canadians called their classification of occupations as NOC. So it was National Occupation Classification. So they basically, both the countries, what they do is they give a digital code to a profession, or rather I should say to a group of people, and then they segregate into specialized people. Like I'll give you an example. For example, a lawyer, a barrister, a solicitor, an advocate, they all seem common to a normal person. But in immigration, they have their different 4 codes. Again, I give you another example. A teacher, a university professor, a lecturer, or a high school teacher, a primary teacher, and a tutor. They're all sort of teachers, but they're all different in their way. And now you know that these are different, but then if I come down and tell you, can you define what's the difference between a lawyer and an advocate, or a barrister or a solicitor? There is a difference. So there's a slight difference, which is a technical difference. So what happens is the NOC before 2022, which got changed into the tier system in Canada, and the ANSCO system in Australia, the Australian New Zealand classification system. They all give you an occupation number, and and it's further down divided, as in maybe advocates are in demand in one place and lawyers are in demand in other state, and so on and so off. Similar in Canada, the new tier system is actually divided into 5 groups, like 0 to 5. So it's like the full form of tier is training, education, experience, and responsibilities. So 0 being the occupations which have like higher education system with the university education, and then tier 1 is usually with the bachelor's, and then so on, the college education, and it drops down. Professions 0, 1, 2, and 3. If you are in that tier level, you can apply for federal skilled worker. Right. Similarly, in the Australian system, there are classifications. So this gets a little complicated, as in what you choose, what exactly is in demand. Like for example, if I give you an occupation example from Australia, as in software programmers, are kind of same to developer programmers, are kind of in the vicinity of system analysts, and people who are from IT team, they know that I'm talking about a set of people who do development, right? But they're all different jobs. And then where's the big difference? The big difference is the software programmers might be in demand in all the states in Australia, but system analysts might not be in demand in all the states. So we have to choose what suits you better. In your job role, you probably started with a very junior role, and then now with 10, 8, 12 years or whatever experience you have, you've grown. So what exactly do you represent your case? And these decisions are made at the spot when you talk to me, and we decide that. We give you the whole guidance, as in what occupation best suits you. We throw you a group of ideas, and we give you like, this is what is best matching, and then you come back to us. We throw that back to you by saying what are the possibilities. So this is not like a ready-made solution. Everybody's different, right? You might not have computer education and you are a computer programmer, right? You might have computer education, but you're not in IT, you're somewhere else. Where do you go? So that's where the occupation and profession selection changes the whole ball game, as in where if you'll be successful or you will head for a rejection. Right. That's it from me for education selection. It's a vital component of your immigration process. Don't take it easy. There are a lot of blogs which will tell you a lot of stuff. Yes, that might have worked for someone, that might not work for you. So you need to consult someone. I'm not saying you hire me, but hire somebody from the MARA register in Australia or the RCIC in Canada. Consult somebody. If you have to pay them by the hour, pay them by the hour. Get the your concerns sorted out. You want to file it yourself, you can do that, but do consult someone before starting, because you just get one shot for this, and if you blow it out, you're done for next 10 years, as I said. So we're there to help you out. If you want any sort of help, you have our website, visaanswer.com. Fill up the assessment form or a query form, send us a WhatsApp message or an email. We'll be more than happy to answer your questions or any concern, or leave us a comment. We'll be more than happy to comment on it. We'll reply back. My team's very eager to help you out, right? See you soon.